new names, and we have a lot of people who've registered. Why are we here? Why are we here? We're here because we are feeling the transition. We're in the shift in our own unique ways. We're aware of it. We can feel things changing for us. And we want to come together in community to celebrate, celebrate what we're doing together in the collective, and to celebrate our own unique journeys, and to help each other, because this is hard work. It's not easy. So I'm doing these monthly presentations to talk about the system of separation, which is what we have been living in. You can call it the matrix, you can call it the 3D construct, but ultimately what it is a system of separation. And one of the most helpful things we can do for ourselves is simply work our way out of the separation dynamic. In every aspect of ourselves in which we're aware of it, we can feel it, and we are conscious of it, and we can become more conscious of it, which is what this 3D construct template work is about. But what the system of separation does, where it came from, we're just beginning to kind of figure out. What it's doing, we're also beginning to be aware of, and I liken it to an open air concentration camp. So if we go back to the days when the concentration camps were operating in Poland and in Germany, there were experiments being conducted on people against their will. There were all kinds of conditioning experiments happening, but it was all in an enclosed, fenced-in area, and that made it difficult for the rest of the world to kind of know what was going on for a while. Eventually, it got found out, and people were horrified, as well they should have been. Well, what's kind of a missing link for many people is that that experimentation didn't stop. It just stopped happening that way. And when the events led to the dynamic of shock and awe and coming into a world war, the people who were behind that systematic relationship to other human beings realized that they would no longer be able to do it that way. Well, then how could they do it? They had learned so much from that experimentation that they thought, hey, let's just do it out in the open. And this is how we can do it out in the open. So what we do know historically from that time is that there are manufacturers. For instance, Monsanto evolved from that period of time. Mercedes-Benz evolved from that period of time. There are many companies that evolved who were part of that ongoing, hidden, covert experimentation. They didn't stop doing what they were doing. We know that the fluoride that's in our drinking water follows the experimentation that happened in the camps on how to keep people calm and docile. So what they did was they just simply took the techniques, they went corporate, and they made this a complete open air concentration camp that we're living in. In this dynamic, we are engineered to live in separation, and we have a price that we pay in terms of our emotional dynamics and all that good stuff. All right, that's the preamble. So I just wanted to prepare you because this one's going to be intense.
When I'm talking about the Eiradonis body, there we go. When I'm talking about the Eiradonis body, it's interesting because if this is like squishing up your vectors so you can see them both. If this is your spirit body or your Etore body, your spirit body going out on the Etore vector that way, and this is your event horizon this way, moving this way, the Eiradonis body is actually facing in the same direction that you are, all right? And that is the spirit body of the Etore side. The Etore would have the same relationship with your spirit body. So there's a reason for this. It's about all sorts of complicated currents that from the creation point, Mane goes out and Ire goes out. This has to do with that stuff we talked about of how much thrust going out and how much pull coming back. And there's all sorts of currents that break down between Mana and Prana and Ire and all of that kind of thing. But it creates which currents are going out are the ones that will face out that way. That is their event horizon, they're moving that way. Which currents are going Etore, they're going that way. So these currents that form the Eiradonis body, even though they belong to the Etore side, are the Etore spirit body, are going that way, and our spirit body is going the way of the Etore. So it's the process of bringing this one into this one, and which makes on the other side your spirit body move into the Etore side that allows those to come together. And that was the thing that they talked about in that long dissertation in writing that had to do with bringing the Eiradonis bodies together. You could bring the two Eiradonis bodies, and it would bring the two, first you'd bring the Eiradonis into the manifest body, and then you would bring the two Eiradonises together, and it would allow you to go into the Kalahari state, etc., the Hare Krishna state, sorry. So that in a nutshell is the simple process and what it kind of looks like when we do the exercise or the techniques that involve, like there's one that's going to be run tonight on the CDs that we've done before that is about laying down and bringing it up and starting to consciously work with the Eiradonis to begin clearing off layers of the mutation. You can do this even with, now just remember, everything you're made of, every shape inside of you or around you has an equivalent shape in Eiradonis energy. And what you can do is say if you have a broken leg or if you have heart trouble or something like that and you want to add extra healing, what you can do is learn to play with the Eiradonis and bring it up gently and bring it up and out in front as you're laying down, up and out in front of your body, and let it take some of the miasmic mess that is holding that condition of ill health or whatever it is in the body. And the more you would play with that, it would actually really assist in the regenesis or healing of that. Can't say to heal it overnight, but it will help it because you are resurrecting progressively. The divine blueprint is held in the spirit body into or is held in the natural Akashic record on the Etore side into the physical system, which clears out layers of miasmic mess from the distortion.